Hey guys, it's Bri. So today I'm going to be doing an Instagram editing video. And basically this is just a video of me showing all of you guys how I edit all my Instagram photos. It's super simple, it's free, all of the apps I use are amazing. So let's get started. So first, we're going to go to my very favorite app in the world. And a lot of people call it different names and stuff, but I call it Visco. Apparently it's Visco or VSCO. I'm not really sure, but I love it. And this app I use for every single one of my photos on Instagram. Like, I have never used a different app to edit because it's just so amazing. And it's free, so you just look for that little white circle thing on the App Store and get it because it is so worth, being free. It's amazing. So I picked a lot of photos from my feed that are more recent. I try to do a combination of photos of myself, photos with bad lighting, a prom photo, and then a photo of me and my friend, just so you guys can all get a feeling of how to do every type of photo. But I just want to help you guys out so you can have the best feed and Instagram that you want to have. So let's get started. Okay, so the first photo I picked is from Positano, which is in Italy, on the Amalfi Coast, and it's beautiful there. So, before we even start, I use the filter C1 on every single one of my photos. And obviously you don't have to follow this. This is just the filter I use on every single one. Every photo you see on my Instagram feed is with C1 because it's amazing. It makes the picture really blue, and I really like blue and colorful. So I always click C1. Now I go over here. I always turn down the exposure before I start editing the other part, just because this is overexposed. I want a lot to work with. Put the contrast up a little bit. Saturation. Now this is going to make it, see, it's making it kind of more green. So actually in this photo I'm going to go below the saturation level. Highlights and tones. This is really good, especially for this photo because I'm wearing white and the buildings behind me are white. So those are really highlighting more than myself. So you just got to put the highlights up a little bit. White balance. This feature is amazing because you can make your photo really warm or really cool. It just depends on what you're wanting. In this photo, I want it to be a little bit more warm, and always match the temperature with the tint. So I always put the tint with the temperature. I don't know why, but this has worked, and it seemed to even out the colors on the palette. Skin tone is just a feature, if your tan's looking weird or something. So I just put it up a little bit. Now, after I do all of that, I always go back to exposure and make it just how I want because I just applied all of those edits to the photo and I want to make sure that it's perfect. I also go back to contrast to just make sure it's done. And there we go. This is probably, I just did this organically, but it's the same exact photo that's on my feed right now. So that's my first edit. Yay. My next edit is a really, really difficult one because 1, it's a bathing suit photo. 2, the lighting is terrible. And 3, it has a lot of potential, but it doesn't look like it right now. Let's start editing this. Before I do anything, I always apply C1, even if it looks terrible. Like right now, I look like the Loch Ness Monster. We're still going to apply that filter. Next, exposure. Gotta put this up on this one because you need something to work with. Now, I'm going to skip contrast for now. So the colors in this are really, really wacky. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to white balance. I'm going to turn the temperature up. Look how much better that is. I'm going to turn the tint up. See, when you do the temperature like that, it's already made it just a better photo. Now I'm going to go back to exposure, turn it down now. Perfect. Now we can go to contrast and put up the contrast. This needs a lot of contrast. Saturation. Looks so much better when I put it up. If you see that, it reflects the light off my sunglasses. Highlights and tones. This one, I'm going to take away some of the highlight because it's detracting from the image. So there we go. Skin tone, I'm just going to put a little bit on this so my tan looks even. Oops. Okay. Now, we've got this image. It's looking great. But we're always going to have to go back to exposure and contrast. I can't say this enough because, especially with bathing suit photos, the more the better. There we go. That looks so different than what I originally had, and I personally think it looks way better like this. That's just my opinion, but I really like this photo now. If you look at the before and after, it's a big change. So you just press save, and there you go, and then you can post it on Instagram. Now, I picked this photo for my trip from Italy. This is at the Trevi Fountain in Rome. So of course, C1 first. Look how much better that is. We're going to speed this up because I think you guys may be getting the hang of it. So now I'm going to put up the exposure a little and the contrast. Perfect. Saturation. Up. Awesome. Tones. Take away some of that highlight. White balance. I think this deserves a little bit more temperature. And remember, when you put the temperature up here, you got to put the tint with it because it will look so much better. Now I've done all of that. Now I'm going to put the exposure back down because look, it looks like a completely different image. And now it's looking better when I go back to exposure. And there we go. That's the exact same photo I posted on my Instagram like 2 weeks ago. That is how I edited that. I'm going to do a photo of me and my friend because I haven't had any photos with other people yet, and I feel like this is important too because there's someone else in the photo. So here we go. The first thing is, can you guess it? C1, done. The exposure. This is looking a little bright, so I'm going to take it down. I'm going to put the contrast up. Saturation, up. Highlights, it's really highlighted right now, so I'm just going to take away some of that. The skin tone, just a little bit. Now we've got this great photo, but I always go back to exposure and contrast just to make sure that it's the best it can be. Adjust those settings a little bit more. Bam, there you go. And now you just save it and then you can post it away. And the last photo I'm going to do today is a prom picture of me and Kyle, my BFF. And I chose this photo because it's taken on a professional camera and it's not a frontal photo. It's like from the side, which means the shadows are going to be different. So here we go. Of course, C1, always. I'm going to put the exposure up, contrast, up, saturation, up, highlights. Now we're really highlighted right now, so I'm just going to put that up a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Now I do notice, see, as you can see, I went back, that there's a lot of shadows in this photo. So I'm just going to take away a little bit of the shadows. Skin tone. I'm going to put this up kind of far because it's side profile and the shadows are casting weird. So you want to make sure that your face is all one color. White balance. Now, there's two different ways. I'm just going to show you like the extreme opposites. This is when you go cool, which is sci-fi-ish. This is when you go warm. So I personally think that this needs to go warm, but remember the tint always goes with it. So now I'm going to go back to exposure like normal, put it down a little bit, because now I made all those edits and it's looking better. I just need to fix it. Contrast, and there you go. That is the save. That is the completed photo. And now for a little exclusive look, I guess you could say, I'm going to show you guys how to do the rainbow light effects that you probably see on some people's feeds. Like I just posted a photo with the rainbow streak. I'm going to actually go to Facetune 2. So first you import your photo. So I'm going to import this one. Now you slide all the way over and go to Light FX. Super simple. And look, there's all these rainbow effects that you can do. I'm just going to pick this one, for example. And you can rotate them. You can just have that in a corner if you want. Super cool. Like if you're going for that like rainbow star galaxy vibe, then go ahead and do it. Super cool. So yeah, that's how you do the rainbow FX if you're wondering. And then you just press this little button and you press save to camera roll. And then you're done. So yeah, that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you get these two apps because they're really, really, really lifesavers. But comment below any other videos you want to see, or if you have any questions about editing or Instagram or really anything, just comment it. So yeah, have a good day and I'll see you guys later. Fight on!